Hello everyone! Today I'm going to show you how to make an optical illusion with a sphere. You're going to need some white paper, a pencil, a ruler, something to color with. I'm going to use colored pencils, and something to create a shadow on our drawing. I'm going to use a piece of black chalk. You could also use a black oil pastel, crayon, colored pencil, charcoal. You could use a regular pencil even, whatever you have available. And then you're going to want something to trace a circle. I have a template here. My template was made using a coffee can lid, but you can use anything you have around your house, even a bowl. Just trace a circle. Doesn't have to be the same size as mine either. I'm going to start with my paper horizontal. And I'm going to put my circle off to the side. You can put it wherever you want on the page, but I kind of like having it off to one side. And I'm going to trace my circle first. Then I'm going to use my ruler to make a grid in the background. Make sure when you're using your ruler that you're writing on the side with the numbers, if it's a wooden ruler like this, because the other side has a little curve where your pencil could go under that curve and make your line crooked. And make sure that you create 2 points of pressure on your ruler. If you hold it in one place, the ruler is going to spin like it's on a lever. But if you create 2 points where you're holding it in 2 different places, it'll be a lot easier to hold it down. Draw your lines all the way across the background. I'm just doing mine the width of my ruler. So that means when I scoot my ruler over, I'm stopping when I can see this line that I just did is lined up with the back of my ruler. And I'm going to keep going all the way across. Until I get to my circle. When I get to my circle, I'm going to be careful and I'm going to draw until I touch my circle and then skip over to the next side. I don't want to draw through my circle, and you'll see that when we get to the next part. That'll be in a separate video. We're just working on our background today. We're going to go all the way across. And you'll notice my paper is not perfectly straight. This is some paper I cut myself and it got a little crooked, but as long as I keep my ruler nice and neat, it's going to work out just fine. Now I'm going to turn my paper vertical and I'm going to do it again. Skipping over my circle. You might notice I'm not picking my ruler up when I need to scooch it down. I'm just sliding it just a little bit to finish the bottom of my page. That way I don't have to realign the whole ruler every time. Oops, I forgot to scoot my ruler. There we go. And I've got room for one more line over here. Now, when you're done with that, you can put your ruler away and get out your colors. The next step is the part that's going to take you the longest, and that's creating a checkerboard pattern in the background. This is where we're going to leave off for this video. When you make your checkerboard pattern, choose 2 colors. I think I'll do a blue and a pink. And you want to lightly color each square. Make sure that you're not tracing around the edges of the square because you don't want a hard edge on the outline. It'll break the illusion when we start doing the details on the circle next week. And you could color these with crayons. I wouldn't use markers because when we do the actual sphere, the illusion works a little bit better if you have a lighter color. But you could use markers if it's the only thing you have. It'll still work. It's just going to be very dark. And you're going to have to be careful when you are working not to tear your paper because those markers are going to make your paper wet. So a checkerboard pattern, if you're unfamiliar, is every other space. So I'm skipping every other space as I'm coloring it in. And I typically like to do all of one color first, but I'm going to switch and show you a little bit of my blue just so you can see the pattern. Now, when we check back next week for part 2, you need to have all of the background squares colored, your whole checkerboard pattern. Your circle should still be plain white. Check back next week for part 2 of this video.